Imagine this: you're caught in the middle of a raging storm. The wind howls, fierce and unrelenting. The rain falls like needles, stinging your skin, and trees bend, branches snap. Everything around you seems to be on the brink of destruction. Yet, in the midst of this chaos, there you stand still, unmoved like a mountain. Your roots go so deep that no external force can knock you down. The noise, the confusion, the turbulence, none of it touches you. Now ask yourself, what would it feel like to live with that same inner strength and peace every single day of your life? What would it be like to face every challenge, every critical look, every harsh word, and every hostile situation without ever losing control? Well, I'm here to tell you that it's possible. The ability to cultivate inner strength that can withstand any storm is not a gift for the lucky few, it's a skill that anyone can learn. Stay with me till the end, and I'll show you how to develop this unshakable inner peace. Life often feels like a constant battle between what's happening inside of us and what's happening around us. How many times have you felt vulnerable to someone's judgment? Maybe it was an unexpected comment, a disapproving look, or a decision made by someone else that seemed to undermine your value. In those moments, it's easy to feel like a leaf in the wind, tossed around by forces beyond our control. We may feel helpless, as if the outside world has complete power over our emotions and reactions. But here's the truth: these external influences only have power because we allow them to. The key is not in changing the world around us or trying to control the actions of others, but in changing the way we respond to these external events. This is where Carl Jung, one of the greatest pioneers of psychology, offers a profound lesson. True freedom and inner peace don't come from trying to control the world or the behavior of others, but from understanding and mastering our inner world. Jung taught us that the way to achieve lasting freedom and inner strength is through self-awareness, by turning inward and looking deeply at the parts of ourselves that we often try to avoid. He called this process integrating the shadow. The shadow represents those hidden, repressed, or uncomfortable aspects of our psyche: fears, insecurities, past traumas, limiting beliefs that we tend to ignore or deny because facing them feels too painful. We might think that if we don't acknowledge them, they'll go away. But the truth is, these aspects of ourselves don't just vanish when we repress them. Instead, they continue to influence the way we think, the choices we make, and the way we allow others to treat us. Now, here's the twist: the shadow is not your enemy. It's actually a part of you that holds the key to unlocking personal growth and inner strength. Every fear, insecurity, or limiting belief is an opportunity for growth. Imagine walking into a dark room. At first, everything seems frightening because you can't see what's around you. But once you turn on the light, you realize that what seemed like a threat was nothing more than an illusion. The same principle applies to your inner world. When we shine a light on our hidden fears and insecurities, we often find that they're not as powerful as they seemed in the darkness. Bringing light into the shadows means exploring these hidden aspects of yourself, understanding where they come from and why they exist. Perhaps a fear comes from a past experience, or an insecurity was instilled in you by someone close to you. A limiting belief may simply be a story you've been telling yourself for too long. The more we face these parts of ourselves, the more we realize that they are not the enemies we thought they were. They are simply pieces of our inner world that need to be understood and integrated into our whole being. So what would happen if we started to see our shadows as allies rather than enemies? We might discover that behind every fear lies an opportunity to grow stronger. Behind every insecurity is a lesson to be learned. And behind every limiting belief lies the potential to break free from our past and rewrite our story. By facing the shadow, we take the first step toward authentic freedom. As Carl Jung said, "Until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life and you will call it fate." What we fail to face inside of us will continue to shape our reality. But the good news is that we have the power to change it, one step at a time. Now that we understand the role of the shadow in shaping our inner world, the next step is learning how to face these hidden parts of ourselves with courage and clarity. The first tool we can use to begin this process is to become an observer of our own emotions and reactions. It's easy to get swept away by our feelings in the heat of the moment, especially when someone criticizes us, provokes us, or challenges us in ways that stir up discomfort. In these situations, we often feel the urge to react immediately, to defend ourselves, or to prove our point. But this automatic reaction can sometimes make things worse and leave us feeling even more unsettled. This is where the practice of observation comes in. Becoming an observer means taking a step back and giving ourselves the space to process our emotions before responding. When something triggers an intense emotional reaction in you, instead of jumping into action, pause for a moment. Breathe deeply and ask yourself a powerful question. Does this situation really define who I am? Or is it simply revealing something about myself that I can learn from and work on? By asking this question, you create a moment of reflection that gives you the opportunity to detach from the immediate emotional impulse and gain clarity on what's really going on beneath the surface. Being an observer isn't about suppressing your feelings or pretending that everything is okay. It's about creating space between the stimulus, the situation or person that triggered your reaction, and your response. This space allows you to process your emotions in a healthy way, instead of letting them control your actions. Imagine you're watching a movie. You can observe the scene without getting caught up in the drama. This kind of emotional detachment is not an escape from reality, but rather a way to approach life's challenges with wisdom and composure. One practical technique you can use when you feel yourself being overwhelmed by emotion is counting to 10. Slow down and count to 10 before you react. This simple action can make a world of difference in giving you the time to think before responding. Along with counting, you can also practice conscious breathing. Inhale deeply for 4 seconds, hold the breath for 4 seconds, and exhale slowly for 6 seconds. Repeat this 3 times. This not only helps to calm your nervous system, but it also clears your mind, enabling you to approach the situation from a place of clarity. Another way to enhance this observation practice is to imagine yourself as a neutral observer. When you're caught in a tense or emotional moment, take a mental step back and visualize yourself as if you were watching the scene unfold from the outside. What would you say if you were an outsider, not involved in the situation? This perspective can help you view the scenario more objectively, free from emotional bias. It can also provide insight into why you're feeling the way you are, and help you decide the best course of action without reacting impulsively. By practicing the art of observation, you gain the ability to respond to life's challenges with a sense of control. You don't let the external world dictate your emotional state or your behavior. Instead, you take charge of how you react, which ultimately helps you build emotional resilience and inner peace. The more you practice this, the more you'll realize that you are not at the mercy of your emotions or anyone else's actions. You are in control. This is a powerful step in cultivating the inner strength to withstand any storm that comes your way. The next step in building indestructible inner strength is to strengthen your core. This means developing a deeper connection to who you truly are, aligning with your authentic self, and becoming unwavering in your beliefs, values, and boundaries. When you know what matters most to you, when you have a clear sense of your identity and purpose, external influences lose their power to shake you. This is where the concept of having a strong inner core becomes crucial. Carl Jung taught that true inner strength comes from a deep understanding of oneself. It's about looking inward to reflect on your values, your needs, and your desires. When you know what you stand for, the external world has less influence on how you respond to challenges. You become like a tree with deep roots. The deeper the roots, the more resilient the tree is to strong winds and storms. Similarly, when your inner core is strong, you can face external pressure with calmness and confidence. You don't feel the need to please others or seek their approval because you are anchored in your own truth. The process of strengthening your inner core begins with self-reflection. Take the time to ask yourself important questions. What truly matters to you? What values guide your decisions? What are the non-negotiables in your life? When you take time to reflect on these questions, you begin to define who you are and what you stand for. The clearer you are about your values and boundaries, the more unshakable you become in the face of criticism, judgment, or negativity from others. One practical way to strengthen your inner core is by creating a list of your core values. These are the values that guide your decisions, actions, and interactions with the world. Write down the 5 most important values that resonate with you. Whether it's honesty, kindness, respect, or personal growth, these values should reflect what you believe is essential for living a meaningful and fulfilling life. Once you've identified them, make a habit of reflecting on them daily. Revisit your list each morning or evening to ensure that your actions align with these values. Another powerful tool for strengthening your inner core is setting clear boundaries. Boundaries are essential for maintaining your peace and protecting your well-being. When you know what is acceptable to you and what is not, you can assertively communicate these limits to others. Setting boundaries is not about being rigid or unkind, it's about protecting your emotional and mental health. When you allow others to cross your boundaries without consequence, you invite unnecessary stress and tension into your life. But when you set clear and healthy boundaries, you demonstrate self-respect and show others how to treat you. You can also strengthen your inner core by creating a personal manifesto. This manifesto is a written declaration of who you want to be and what you stand for. It serves as a reminder of your values, your vision for your life, and your commitment to yourself. Write a few lines about the person you aspire to become and the principles you want to live by. Keep this manifesto somewhere visible and read it regularly, especially when you feel uncertain or insecure. It will reinforce your sense of self and remind you of the power you have to shape your own life. When you strengthen your inner core, you become more resilient to life's storms. You stop letting external influences determine how you feel or how you react. Instead, you respond from a place of clarity and confidence, knowing that you are anchored in your own truth. The more you align with your authentic self, the more powerful and unshakable you become. The final step in building an indestructible inner strength is learning how to transform negative emotions into valuable sources of growth. Negative emotions, though uncomfortable, are not inherently bad. In fact, Carl Jung often emphasized that emotions, especially the ones we deem negative, are powerful messengers. These feelings are signals that indicate something inside us needs attention. When we face and understand these emotions, rather than avoiding or suppressing them, we can use them as tools to become stronger and more resilient. Many people fear or try to avoid negative emotions like anger, sadness, fear, or anxiety. These emotions are often seen as burdens or signs of weakness. However, avoiding or repressing them only gives them more power over our lives. When we deny these emotions, they continue to influence our behavior, often in subconscious ways. Jung's teaching tells us that the things we reject within ourselves do not disappear. Instead, they remain in our unconscious, affecting our choices and reactions in ways we might not even realize. By facing these emotions head-on, we have the opportunity to gain insight into ourselves and break free from their control. The key to transforming negative emotions is to embrace them and understand what they're telling us. For example, anger often arises when we feel that a boundary has been crossed or when we perceive an injustice. Rather than lashing out or letting anger fester, we can ask ourselves, why am I angry? What boundary has been violated? This self-inquiry can help us recognize what's really bothering us and take steps to protect ourselves in healthier ways. Fear often signals that we have limiting beliefs or that we're facing something unknown. Instead of letting fear paralyze us, we can use it as an opportunity to ask, what am I afraid of? How can I push through this fear and grow from it? Each negative emotion holds a key to understanding our deeper selves. Another crucial step in transforming negative emotions is through the practice of self-reflection and journaling. Keep an emotion journal, where you write down when you feel strong emotions and explore what triggered them. By reflecting on your emotional responses, you begin to recognize patterns and uncover the root causes of your reactions. This process helps you break the cycle of unconscious emotional responses and gives you the clarity to choose how you want to react moving forward. In addition to journaling, you can also use creative visualization. When you feel overwhelmed by a negative emotion, imagine transforming that emotion into something positive. Visualize anger dissolving into calmness, fear transforming into courage, or sadness evolving into self-compassion. By visualizing these shifts, you mentally and emotionally train yourself to navigate difficult feelings more constructively. Another powerful tool is practicing reverse gratitude. This is the act of finding a positive aspect in a difficult situation. For instance, if you're criticized, instead of feeling hurt or defensive, ask yourself, what can I learn from this? Even in painful moments, there's always an opportunity for growth. A negative comment could reveal something valuable about your own insecurities or areas you might want to improve. By practicing reverse gratitude, you shift your perspective and begin to see challenges as opportunities for development. Transforming negative energy into growth requires time and effort, but it's incredibly rewarding. Each time you face a negative emotion and turn it into a lesson, you become stronger, wiser, and more resilient. Over time, you'll notice that you are less affected by external criticism or setbacks because you've learned how to use your emotions as tools for personal evolution. By embracing and transforming negative emotions, you free yourself from their grip and create a solid foundation of inner peace and strength. These steps, becoming the observer, strengthening your inner core, and transforming negative energy, will help you build the kind of inner strength that nothing can shake. It's a journey that takes time and practice, but the rewards are immeasurable. Let me these steps, becoming the observer, strengthening your inner core, and transforming negative energy, will help you build the kind of inner strength that nothing can shake. It's a journey that takes time and practice, but the rewards are immeasurable. Which of these steps do you feel you need to focus on the most? Let me know in the comments below, and tell me how you're working to build your inner world. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe for more transformative content. And remember, inner peace isn't just possible, it's within your reach. Know in the comments below, and tell me how you're working to build your inner world. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe for more transformative content. And remember, inner peace isn't just possible, it's within your reach.